thank you so much for another episode of Third Side Combo. And now we will actually go to the peanut gallery. We'll see y'all later.
Good job.
Okay,
What
stand
do you
by
guys think of that
one.
show? That was pretty good.
Resetting for peanut
I think
gallery.
it was good.
And we'll
Yeah.
see what we missed. They're going to tell us what we didn't talk about. So who knows?
I
You were going, no, just stay.
Stay where you are, please.
We need y'all to stay.
I'm trying to have a pause in between because I have to edit that.
you guys
part of
is I think it was interesting because I saw you guys really engaged into what was listening, so not much to
Okay,
comment.
I believe we have. Can the peanut gallery hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Get the beard up. Can you all hear Don?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Here. Yeah.
Look at that, clean and easy.
Now, can they see him, though? Can they see him? What did they see?
Yes, he's on.
Cool.
Can you see me?
Well, what did we miss?
There's a creepy guy on here.
Mr.
Well-
Peanut Gallery, what other thoughts were thrown out there that we missed?
I would like to add one comment.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Okay. I didn't know if I was on. Oregon has had 100%
Want to get your
mail-in.
face on?
Pardon?
Get your face on. Could you put your video on?
I thought it was on. Okay. I'll try.
Not unless somebody is doing a great ventriloquist act up there.
Ah, no, there's only one.
Oh, that's right. We can wait a sec. We can get back to you.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
One thing I'm surprised we didn't talk about is bank your vote.
Is what?
Bank your vote. We didn't even discuss that at all.
I didn't know that one. Bank your vote.
Bank your vote, though. That was one of the Republicans pushed that with regards to they wanted to jump on the bandwagon though of this whole absentee ballots and really trying to promote people to go in and for the Republicans, you know what I mean? Trying to jump on the bandwagon like, okay, well, a whole bunch of Democrats are doing it. Republicans, let's try to, you know what I mean, to
Okay.
give them the push to do it as well. But I think that they found out that it was very kind of counterproductive though, just with regards to a lot of the rhetoric that was going on to where, okay, well, you're telling us to, but certain individuals that are saying that it's fraud and this and that.
Hey, Michelle, we're creating a monster now. You're actually reading some of the stuff that we send, right?
Oh my God. But no,
I love it.
bad thinking about voting.
I got it.
Voting my whole entire life. I've been very schooled and educated. So thank you very
Gotcha.
much. I appreciate it.
Well, Tony, let me ask you, Tony, you're watching I don't know if it's your first time watching. What's your thoughts on what we're doing here?
Well, I've got a lot of dogs barking because we just got some visitors, but I think I was putting my notes in the chats because the results of all of the elections and all of the 60 plus cases of the 2020 elections, they just ain't panned out, guys. I'm sitting in the heart of Texas and it just ain't panned out. So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm with the pillow guy. Show me some proof, you know.
Yeah, that's why we put
I
that
can't
one
believe I
past
said
us.
that.
We're just concentrating on the next one, right?
Yeah. I mean, it would be nice to, if you're gonna say something, show us some fact, please. The idea of that you just throw something out there without facts is just nonsensical to me. I need some fact. And this is a problem with the country right now. That's why we are so divisive. When you say there's something, but you can't show the proof, or you keep saying, oh, there's this and that, but where's the proof?
There's
And if
lots
you
of
can't show me a proof, then let's stop talking about it and move on.
I'm looking at over 60 court cases where the judges, including judges appointed by the former president, ran the investigations, and all of them were released. None of them proved wrong. So I mean, it's kind of hard to stick with the story, if you're a reporter and you just can't find any proof. I agree with Doctor.
Well, and Ted, I know Ted's up there with that group too. Well, but
Listen,
that's why
I wrote. I'm sorry. What's your name again? I'm sorry, ma'am. You just
Tony.
talked.
It's
What's
Tony.
your name? What is it?
Tony.
Tony
Yeah.
Coughlin.
Hi, Tony. Listen, I take exquisite pleasure in writing 100 to 300 words of explicit points that challenge every Republican point on government policy to Joe Boy, and Bob, just to give them a hard time. I love doing it. Yeah, Joe Boy and Bob. I love doing it. They no doubt tear their hair out but that's okay. They graciously let me back in.
And Ted's not
Bob
been
does
using
not
AI to do
censor
it.
You're my
Huh?
hero. Give him a hard time.
And you
But
guys,
do know
I
when I get down to
personally,
Corona in Orlando, and I'm in a Corona cigar store, I'm going to use Bob's account to pick up a couple boxes.
I will definitely. I know I owe you some cigars, Ted. Believe me, I know that. But I'm not going to get you. I'm going to get you the Florida Sun Grown. I'm not going to get you the. Boy, I'm going to get you like the best cigar you've ever had. Really good cigars.
All right.
Here's
I'll
my
look forward
question
it.
to the Peanut Gallery. Starting off with Tony, did you see or enjoy the agreement that you saw on the show versus other shows where there's always a big debate?
it's so refreshing to see intelligent people conversing intelligently, guys. I mean, we should be in Congress because they ain't none there. All right.
Okay, well that
So
I'll go to
listen,
the good
after
doctor.
working- Joe Boy, after working with former President H.W. Bush and understanding the variances between, you know, how the public sees someone at that level, I completely understand that there's a lot of crap out there. My father was one originally told me, and he was down in the Rio Grande Valley, and he said, baby, you don't become a Republican until you got something to lose.
That's funny.
I mean, that's what he told me. So I've seen both sides of the equation, and I'm a Tonyite. I vote the way I feel is correct. I hate to put myself in
Oh, I
one
like
camp
that.
or another. And he was the same way. His name was Tony too. So all I'm saying is that it's good and refreshing to see people who have merit, who have intelligence, and more than your peanut gallery. That we have a lot of peanuts here. I'm enjoying this. Thank you very much, Joe Boy, and I appreciate the invitation from all of you. Thank you.
And Dr. Adamala, did you like the agreement and what you're seeing out of this?
Yes, the agreement is, that's the purpose of this third side convo, to be able to sit down together. We may have some views that we do not agree with,
Right.
but to find a common ground and unite on that. And that's what I saw on the show today. And so that's like the goal was accomplished, and that's great.
Ollie, what about you? What did you think?
He says,
Joe Boy needs dinner.
I put in the chat group how much I liked the quote, all tyranny begins with benevolence. That's really profound, and
Yes.
my daughter would say true dat.
Right. That's pretty good.
I don't say, typically I don't say Democrat or Republican, because it's not, when I talk to Joe Boy, I hate them all. They have made this mess, not one group, and if they've been in there for a while, my grandmother said a long time ago, if they weren't dirty when they went in, you can damn sure bet they are when they come out.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so, now we got people in there that it's institutionalized.
Yep.
Do I think they're trying to better us, make it better for us? Not at all.
No.
Because they've had a number of years to make it better, and it's not getting better. And I'm not talking administration or the previous, I'm talking about the system.
Yeah.
It's just not working.
Yeah, you are correct. The system is fraught with, I mean, when you have people that are career politicians, where they'll come in and lie to you just to get your vote, but once they get there, they start campaigning for the next election. That's why we need to have a term limit in Congress and the Senate. That way you can actually do the people's work and not worry about your reelection. But until they come together and agree on that, we'll be going through this cycle.
So folks, we all know this, but I wanted to bring it up. Every single member of every single committee in Congress and in the House of Representatives, every single member has to buy their way into it by raising funds. At the lower end, it's $250,000. At the higher end, it's no ceiling. So
Exactly.
that's primarily our problem.
Exactly. Good point.
Barriers to entry, the money wise.
This has come up many things. We did the same thing in the newspaper industry. We're going through a remodel, changing everything, fonts and everything we wanted, but you still had to put out a newspaper every day. Someone who I know works in the state of California government, which is huge, said it should be torn down. But you know what? This is an aircraft carrier that has to still keep sailing, doing everything it has to do with all the functionality. Why you remodel it or fix it or graft on it or making little changes? how do we change our government? Do we shut it down for 10 years, create a whole new voting system, redo the whole electoral college? Do we do that? No, we're not going to do that, because it would stop. The whole processes would stop. Commerce would stop. You
Yes.
can't do that. So we have to
Very
make
good point.
changes.
Very good
The most effective, the very effective way of doing this, obviously, is getting people who are active and smart in Congress. And Congress is the failure right now, both levels.
Yes.
This is the most stagnant, unproductive Congress in what, over 100 years.
And not to make anyone feel weird, but I agree with Ted.
Oh boy, you
But
feeling
wait a
okay?
minute, guys.
That
Wait a
is
minute.
too funny.
Hungry.
Ted,
Great.
Ted,
Hey, in the future, hey, if everybody do me a
done. Okay, I mean, they voted against the communistic approach to our gas stoves. You know,
Yeah.
and keeping
Oh.
keeping
You
refrigerators
did right. Berkeley
legal.
did that.
That is hilarious.
Berkeley voted that because it's their effort to reduce global warming. They banned gas stoves. It got rejected by that. It got repealed. But you're right, they did that. Yeah, Berkeley's its own world. It's
Berkeley
amazing.
is its own world.
They worry about a mice in the room when the elephants are pounding them because they don't want to deal with the elephant. They want to deal with the mouse. It's easier to look at. And so, you know,
That's a simplification.
Well,
I mean,
So,
That's what it was
what did
supposed
you
to
get out
be.
of this episode,
that's
Johnny?
exactly what that was supposed to be. isn't
Good
it?
job on the simplification.
Right.
Exactly what it was supposed to be.
but the fact of the matter is, no, the other thing is democracy is a sloppy, inaccurate process. We try to get as much of it right as possible, because the most valuable thing, the most sacred thing is people taking a piece of paper with names on it or yes and no and putting in a box and it gets counted.
Yes.
That's the most sacred thing. That's why the immunity case is coming up, because it comes down to whether or not somebody has the right to do that stuff that would obviously take it away. That's a bad example. But the fact of the matter is, a lot of these cases pending is that the Supreme Court more or less says whatever the people want. If the people vote for whatever, that's pretty much the rule. And
Well-
then the people, then Congress has the right to, like, this is a very touchy issue, abortion. So the Supreme Court has reversed the abortion rights, but Congress has the right to go out and make a law making abortion legal. So that's where we're at. That's all part of the process.
Now, Johnny's been quite quiet for the wrap party. Johnny, what are your thoughts about how the show went and whether or not you enjoyed seeing the agreement that we're getting here?
Well, you know, I came on today with a different mindset. You know, usually I want to be disruptive, and I said that's not the goal of Bob's show. And I listened a lot more, and I said I really am going to try to seek some common ground. And it was a better mindset to go into it with, because whatever you're looking for is what you're going to get. And I came in with that mindset.
Yeah, I was thinking we need to co-opt the word they and them. When we start talking they and them, that always refers to the politicians from now on. That doesn't refer to
Exactly.
the other side of our debate here, of our discussion. You know,
Right.
it's them. They're the problem.
And Michelle,
I am
what do you
being
think?
quiet,
I
Joe
tried to
Boykins.
count the
Yes.
panelists.
Got a good point.
I'm trying to watch the Trump rally right now with 35,000 people in Bronx, because New York's going red, baby.
Oh yeah, it's gonna go red.
Okay.
Yes, baby. Yeah. Texas is going blue too. Yep. That's gonna happen. That's exactly right.
The game is over.
So, Michelle, what did you get out of this?
Yeah, you know what I got out of it, that was being able to look at the various different viewpoints and first of all, being able to sit and recognize that it's a very, very vast, expansive problem, and there's so many facets to it. And I think that with us, we were able to at least slightly be able to touch on, okay, well, here's a couple of at least similarities that we can come to a point of consensus on, to a point of agreements, because overall, at the end of the day, like I said, you know, like what Bob said, you know what I mean, them and us, and it's in us, you know what I mean, with regards to, we're all people, we all have the same wants and needs and desires, and, you know what I mean, the fellowship between our family or our communities. And I think for us, at the end of the day, that's the most important, and that's what we're looking for.
Well, I found this to be an interesting show. The part I didn't get hit on, in my opinion, this is again my opinion, is I was surprised that no one talked about the fact that a lot of ballots are getting mailed to people, whether or not they ask for it. And for me, that's a big deal, because in Washington State, they are doing that. They're mailing everyone the ballot, which encourages people to vote that normally wouldn't. People who don't care, people who don't bother to know the issues. They just vote for a cool sounding name or a D or an R. And is not mattering whether or not that person has substance. And that, to me, I would rather people want to vote and ask to vote and then get their ballot instead
Can
of
I
just
But
interrupt?
you don't get to
vote
make
and
that
do it that way.
decisive
So for me, that's a big issue.
That's
Joe,
not
that's why they're
made.
voting is not mandatory in this country.
Yeah,
If they
no,
did, you would get
exactly.
60,000 votes for a baby rhinoceros in San Francisco Zoo.
Yeah.
That's why. So exactly, people have to have the desire. That's why you sign up to vote.
But a
Right.
lot of mail-in ballots are getting mailed to people. Ed over
In
there said
Washington.
he got one for someone else and he could have mailed it in. Yes, writing his name on there would be illegal, but it's done all the time. Come on.
But it's
I know people who write the
Washington. What
names
do you
of their
expect?
bosses all the time on checks because the boss doesn't want to write the check. It's still wrong, but people do it. So it's not like it'd be hard to do. And so I want people to ask for the ballot and then receive it. Absentee ballot, you have to ask for it. You're in the military, you ask for it because you want to vote. And so for me, I don't think the voting automatically by mail is a great idea. I think it should be calibrated at least 2 days before the walk-in vote, if you're going to do it. And that way it's not everyone, it's some. And it makes it easier, and have those numbers calculated, and they don't have to be published. I don't see a benefit of publishing it on the news and getting anyone riled up, because I don't want to use it to stifle the vote or to get one side to think that the other side's better or worse because of those numbers.
I think
Well,
that's
that's just
called,
my
what is it?
opinion.
Red mingling? No, red Marion, what was it called? Shit.
Read some damn thing.
It's
I,
black and
I
red.
don't think,
It's red or black.
May I comment on Joe Boy's?
Hey, Bob.
Yeah.
Hey, Bob.
if we can get your
I gotta
video
go
on,
pretty soon.
Okay, thanks.
On the next commercials, can we
Here's the
get a
deal.
survivalist magazine?
Is there
that-
fire?
Joe
that,
Boy
you know,
keeps talking
tells
about,
people how to, filter their own water and resist the government takeover. Could give me one of those ads instead of the gun range?
Oh, you want a different commercial? I'm missing what you're saying. Sorry.
Yeah, no, yeah, the gun range commercial was really nice. So that's
Oh.
great, especially the AR-15. So the next time, could we get like a survivalist magazine? to
Oh,
promote
gotcha.
their articles?
well, okay,
Yeah.
You
you
know,
got to realize that
how to overcome the
uh,
government overthrow and all that stuff. Can we get one of those?
the gun range is actually an advertisement for one of my son's shows, and so they're an actual advertiser. And so
I
they
understand
advertise
that.
on Tiberius' show, and I do plan to talk to him about this. Bob actually knows the owners of the range, and they gave us stuff. If you've got people that have advertising opportunities and they want to advertise, by all means, we'll be more than happy to
Understand?
talk with them.
Understand.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You
So
know?
I have some Hare Krishnas up here in Northern California who chant and dance. You want some of those?
Hey,
Or how
I'm
about
going
They
to
want
pay.
if they want
they've got
to pony up some dollars
Yeah,
to help.
exactly.
they want to pay?
Fund it,
Yeah, I know.
help
If they want to pay. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't discriminate on the commercials.
Come on, green.
We're an equal
I can
opportunity
talk about
collector.
plants all day long, and as long as I pay, what difference does it make?
When it comes to commercials, I'm not red or blue. I'm green. They're going to.
Well, by the way, if I can say something, the panelists, I think, averaged the least. I mean, y'all did great in keeping everything. I know for a fact y'all were very balanced in the amount of time you spoke, but even more so, you let other you got yourself in there more times. It worked really well. I want to thank y'all for that. It's going to take timing for time for everybody to learn these things. Ted told me today when I was talking to him that it doesn't happen overnight. Some of this stuff, we're still a work in progress. You know,
can't fix the
Right.
world.
one person at a time. What I'm looking forward to, Michelle, is you
Can you
spending
believe
more
that?
time with Ted, because Ted grows on you. And Ed, I'll say the same thing to you. Ted has a more normal foil in Larry Haber that is not on the show that we use, but Johnny and Ted have been up to each other a long time. But you start to really like the other people on the show, and that's what we're all about.
Well, Bob, I had this scene ready to go. I was ready for this.
Oh,
I was ready
there you
for
go.
it. Okay.
I have
I was
nothing-
even ready for this one, and I couldn't get them to go.
Yeah,
Find something that you can relate to people with.
Yeah.
But I think that sometimes what we consume is what we become.
Right.
And we consume one thing, we become one thing
Yeah.
at the cost of half the truth, whatever
Sure.
it may be. And
It takes some work. Yeah, it really
Right.
takes work to actually listen to the other side and to listen to different things. Because let's face it, all of us are consuming different media, and there's no question about that. So we're consuming different things, and then when we come together, some things are said. So thank
Yeah,
y'all.
Bob,
for
that's
calling.
like what,
I got to hear
Bob?
from Bob.
yeah, Bob, that's like my ex-wife used to say, there's two things wrong with me. One, I don't listen, and it's something else. I forget.
It does. That might be a universal.
Oh yeah. All right.
All right, I gotta get out of here, you crazy.
Okay, now I think
Good
we're
luck
gonna
in
be cut.
Florida.
Yeah, you
I
got
wanna
it. Thanks,
thank
Dad.
everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
And
Bye,
thank you, everybody.
guys. Bye, Michelle. Bye. Bye, Larry. Bye, guys.
Yep.
yeah.
And Peanut
Bye.
Gallery.